Welcome to practice. Today's practice is all about allowing the experience to be received. So rather than concocting or formulating the outcome, ripening into exactly what is. To begin, bring your fingertips to the earth and we'll come into a toe squat. Tuck your toes underneath you and allow your sitting bones to sit back on top of your heels. And just make sure your pinky toes came with the rest of the toes. And then lay your palms in your lap. Allow your shoulder heads to move back and a sense of letting the shoulder blades sigh down your back. Then begin to feel the front of your body, the doing, the driving, the controlling part of your body to diffuse or deflate into the back space. Consciously lean your front body into your back body. Take a deep breath in through your nose, part your lips, and exhale out of your mouth. Bring your fingertips to the earth and come into a forward fold. You can heel toe the feet to hips distance and grab a hold of opposite elbows or take any other gesture with the arms that feels good. And then start to draw up through the inseams of your legs. Feel the outer hips hug towards the midline and create that stability for the whole vine of your spine to unravel towards gravity. Allow any of the holding, that armor around the back of the neck, to completely let go. Let the brain sink into the top of the skull, dropping out of any dots and details of the thinking mind. And then bring your fingertips down to the earth and start to roll your way back up towards standing. As you pass through center, let the arms rise up, a gathering sensation, pulling the skies all the way down to the third eye center and the center of the forehead. The invocation or invitation to ripen means coming to an alert attentiveness or a hypersensitivity to the moment-to-moment unfolding and a capacity to bend and sway and shift with the fluctuations. So rather than aiming to walk into some idealized state of perfection, it's a recognition that the best superpower that we can have is to be fluid and to move with life. Maybe even as the rug is constantly pulled out from underneath us, yearly or daily or moment to moment to moment. Embed that into your next breath in, and then release your fingertips all the way back down towards gravity. Let your next breath be delivered. The arms rise, palms connect. As you exhale, fold your way over your front thighs. Take a halfway lift and sprinkle your fingertips underneath your shoulder heads. Press into your right foot, lift and hover your left foot just off the earth. Spread your toes. As the leg casts back through the L-shaped back of heart reaches forward, slow motion step back. Frame off your front foot. Soften your back knee, magnetize your inner thighs, and rise up into a crescent lunge. Micro bend your back knee, lift your frontal hip bones up towards the tip of your nose, cinch your side waist, grow longer through your side body. Then begin to straighten out your back leg and feel the release across your left hip flexors. Bend your back knee towards the earth, hover, and then let it nest. And as soon as you do, gather underneath your pelvic floor. Interlace your hands behind your back and pull your inner palms towards one another. Take a breath as if you're drawing breath up the legs into back of heart, then wash from back body to prop front body, up, 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 up. Release the fingertips back to the sky, press into your feet. And as you exhale, frame off your front foot, tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, and allow the back of your spine to unravel over your front thigh. As you inhale, hands flat onto the earth or fingertips or hands on blocks. Press down, round your back, pick up your foot, hover, and step it back into a downward facing dog. As your inhale breath arrives, ride the full wave of your breath forwards into a high plank position. Bend both knees, lower them towards the earth. Let them touch at exactly the same time and then unravel into cow pose. the butt will drag you back towards active child's pose. The heart and the eyes stay forwards. And then ripple and round forwards, letting the belly swallow the heart swallow the throat. Unravel your way towards cobra or full upward facing dog, lifting out of the wrist creases. Take a breath, glide back, downward facing dog. The breath will floss through the spine and the crown of the head and the heels land last. Rise onto the tips of your toes, walk your feet to the top of your mat. As you inhale, take a halfway lift. Draw it up the legs, let back of heart ricochet forwards. Keep all of that length as you fold and think headstand on the head. Inhale to rise, back to stand, let the arms go wide, let the palms connect, back ribs climb. And as you exhale, palms dive through center. Inhale, arms glide up, palms press. Exhale, think open, spacious, loosening the knot of the heart. Inhale, fingertips come underneath the shoulders, heel toe the feet a little wider. Press into your left foot, lift and hover your right toes. Pass through the L shape as the right leg lengthens back, back of heart streams forwards. Find a low lunge, framing your front foot. Micro bend your back knee, magnetize inner thighs, slow motion, rise up, crescent lunge. And then again that moment to sweeten the back thigh, lift the frontal hip bones, cinch your side waist, grow longer and start to straighten the back leg. Bend the back knee like you're riding a buoy down towards the bottom of the ocean, slowly. Hover, and then let the knee nest so softly onto the earth. Gather a breath up the legs, lift the pelvic floor, and interlace the hands behind your back. Inner palms connect towards one another. Take a moment to breathe into back of heart, and then prop from back of heart, straight up, 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 up to the sky. The heart and the eyes look in the same direction, so there's alignment of the inner and outer body. Fingertips release back to the sky. Palms go wide like you're parting the clouds. Frame off the front foot. Lift the hips and pour your weight forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Press into the earth, round your back. Make sure you're high on the ball of your back foot to give you space. Pick up your left foot and step it back into a downward facing dog. As you inhale, let breath undulate through the core lines of the body. High plank. Lower the knees towards the earth, let them touch at the same time. As soon as they do, unravel cow pose. Butt drags you back towards active child's pose. The sitting bones hover off the heels. The heart and the eyes stay forwards. Round forwards. Untuck your toes, let your pelvis drip towards the earth. Catch either cobra or full upward facing dog, lifting the inner seams of your thighs. And slide your way back into downward facing dog. Bring your feet together at the back of your mat. Let your right leg start to pierce towards the sky. Rise high onto the tip of your left toes. Micro bend your left knee and see if that gives you more space to lengthen your outer left hip back as much as your right hip. Draw your right knee into your belly. Create a little container, a package of the core, round forwards. Press into the earth and heel toe your foot to the top of the mat. Dial your back heel in and down, let your left fingertips reach forwards. Can you keep the depth of warrior two as you rise up so there's not like a bopping up and then entering back into it? Reverse all the way up and back, press into your right big toe and start to straighten out your front leg, pulling the quadricep all the way up towards your pelvic floor. Let your hips shift back and your spine, especially underneath you, lengthen forwards. And then without begging for the earth, simply spiral the arms around your long spine. Reach your top fingertips all the way forwards, spiraling your pinky finger down towards the earth. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, both hands come down to the earth to frame off your front foot. Lift high onto the ball of your back foot and then step the back foot into a pyramid stance. Press and embed your feet into the earth. Find stability to rise all the way up. You can adjust as you need to if you need a little more width. Let the arms extend wide and then find a reverse prayer behind your back or hook onto opposite elbows. Take a breath and start to fold forward, inner thighs moving back and the back of your heart extending forwards. Pause at the halfway point until you're flush with the earth to let the front body lift into the back body, and then start to explore breath by breath your depth. Take one more breath in. Press into your feet, rise back to the halfway point, release your fingertips all the way back across the atmosphere. And then fold forward passively over your front thigh with your fingertips to the earth or to blocks. Lift high onto the ball of your back foot. Keep your left fingertips anchored. Right fingertips trace along the heart line and reach all the way to the sky. Keep left hip lifted as much as the right hip. Spread the space between the shoulder blades. Then extend the right palm all the way forwards and swim to the back of your mat if you have one, finding either high Skandasana or the low variation where the left knee comes into a half Malasana and the right leg is in Ardha Navasana, or a half split with the toes and the knee pointing in the same direction towards the sky. The butt can even come all the way down onto the earth with the option to add the Parigasana variation, right hand reaching across for the left ankle, left arm reaching up, up and over. Keep the right side waist as long as the left, and then spiral the navel and your right eye up towards the sky. Take a breath, and as you exhale back out slowly, fingertips come to the earth or palms to prayer. Micro bend your right knee, dig your heel into the earth, bite your right thigh into the bone, hands or no hands, swim back to the top of your mat and frame off your front foot. Rather than using momentum, pour into the right leg, the right foot, 1 gram at a time. Float the left thigh and then start to thread it through the arms, rounding your spine, passing through skater pose. Maybe the fingertips even reach forwards before the butt connects to the earth. Step your right foot a little further away from your pelvic floor. Again, set it down, let it collide with gravity. Press into the sole of your foot, lift your left thigh up to meet your right thigh, and then lift your right toes, connect the big toe mounds and pull from your big toe mounds into your pelvic floor. Lower yourself slowly back down. Toes reach up towards the sky, fingertips reach up, lift through both, take a breath, and then as you exhale, let left leg come all the way down towards the earth. And we'll take a stretch here, preparing the right side for the Hanumanasana, the split shape. Keep pressing through the top of your left thigh. You can grab a hold of the back of your calf or the back of your thigh. If you have the space, even taking the full mudra of right hand, wrapping around the left wrist and creating this circuit of energy, this circuit of induction. You can bend your left knee and take the sole of the foot to the earth if that feels better on your lower back. Slowly release the grip, extend your left leg out, let your right leg lower, and then find Ardha Navasana here, lifting your feet, lifting your fingertips, your shoulder blades, rise back up by digging into your core. Bring your right foot close to your pelvic floor, step back up onto your right foot, fingertips on blocks or earth, lift through skater and then thread the left leg all the way back into a standing split. Take your right hand to your right ankle. Before your brain stops, you take your left hand to your right ankle and then squeeze your left butt cheek and your left inner thigh towards the sky. Take a breath, bring your fingertips slowly to collide with earth, and then step it back through a lunge. Drop your back knee down, let your left fingertips come off your mat, point them to the left. Right arm can simply reach back in space, or you could hook the root of your hand around the roots of your toes and create a little package with your heel and your butt cheek. Allow your hips to sink in and the heart to spiral to the sky. Release your back foot, frame off your front foot, and then slide your left knee back in space for Ardha Hanumanasana half split. As you inhale, imagine drawing breath up the legs like they're two straws, growing the vine of your spine into all of its spacious potential, and then ripening your way down into a forward fold. Stay or come into any depth of variation, whether that's in the physical shape that you're creating with your body or just the intimacy with which you're meeting the intensity of your sensory experience. Bring your fingertips down onto the earth, tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, curl and round your spine, let the right leg travel all the way back up to the sky. Bend the knee, open up the hip, and slide your way into Parsvavashisthasana, Wild Thing, letting the right big toe drip down behind you. Find that yin quality, the softening, before the dynamic yang expansion and expression of opening. Slide your fingertips back onto the earth, come into downward facing dog. Inhale to glide forwards through high plank. Let the knees sweeten. Open your way all the way into cow pose. Let the butt drag you back, active child's. Round forwards onto hands and knees. Untuck the toes, pelvis droops down. Catch and kiss all the way into a back bend that serves you. Slide your way back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in through the nose and a smooth breath parting the lips out of the mat. Feet come together at the back of the mat, left leg lifts high. Come high onto the tip of your right toes, micro bend right knee, lengthen right side waist. And then pull your left knee all the way into your belly, create a core package, heel toe the foot to the top of the mat without lifting the left hand. Dial back, heel in and down for Warrior 2. Extend right fingertips forward. Stay in Warrior 2 the whole way as you rise. You can adjust the stance if you need to as you arrive. Reverse, slide your back hand onto your back thigh to feel biofeedback. The thigh is working. The hand can catch the back of the skull. Press into your front foot, straighten out your front leg and draw your quadricep up towards your pelvic floor. Let the hips slide back and the fingertips extend forwards. Without begging for the earth, simply spiral your arms around your long spine, spreading the space at the back of your heart center. Think up, 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 lift into the space above your top fingertips and grow from the base of your spine through your soft palate, your eyelashes. Reach top hand all the way forwards. And then frame off your front foot, lifting high onto the ball of your back foot to find the release. Step your back foot in and find a pyramid stance. 45 degrees with the back foot. Bring your hands onto your hips, press into your feet and rise all the way up to stand. You can adjust your stance if you need to a little wider. Let the arms extend wide, spreading through any valley of knots across the chest. Find a reverse prayer behind your back or just grab a hold of opposite elbows if that feels better. Take a breath, and as you exhale, inner thighs move back, heart extends forward. Find the torso flush with the earth. Pause, let the front body lift into the back body. And then as you exhale, start to dive into every sensation, greeting the intensity with the intimacy of your awareness, the intimacy of your breath. Press into your feet, back out halfway. Unravel the fingertips and feel the blood recoil back into the fingertips. And then let your right fingertip come down to the earth. Lift high onto the ball of your back foot, left fingertips pierce straight up towards the heavens, easy twist. Right hip stays lifted, spread between the shoulder blades. Reach the top hand forwards and then swim through the cave all the way to the back of your mat or your non-mat into either a high Skandasana or half Malasana, half Hanumanasana variation. If you took the full seated Parigasana variation on the first side, this time the left hand reaches across for the right ankle and the top hand reaches up, up and over, navel spiraling to the sky, left eye to the sky. Take a breath and keep thinking lengthen, lengthen, lengthen the underside of your waist as much as the top side of your waist. Back out slow. Dig your left heel into the earth, micro bend the knee, bite the muscle around the thigh, and then glide to the top of the mat. Frame off your front foot. Core into the left. Squeeze the muscle of the right until it floats, and then slide it through the gateway of the arms, passing through skater and letting the butt gedunk all the way down onto the ground. Set your left heel a little further away from your body, and then lift your right thigh in line with your left. The toes connect, press into your big toe mounds and reach through your fingertips. Lower down eyes and toes at the same time. Legs come to the sky. Lift through the toes, lift through the fingertips, kiss and bump up against your threshold just for a moment. And then this time your right thigh connects to the earth, and you'll start to draw your left thigh in towards your chest. Grabbing a hold of either the back of the thigh, the back of the calf, maybe taking the full mudra by this time letting the left hand grab a hold of the right wrist. Anchor down through the top of your right thigh, or you could bend your right knee and take the sole of your foot onto the earth. Close down your eyes and feel rather than think the opening. Release the foot gently back down. Hover the heels, hover the tips of your shoulder blades. Rise up, pass through boat pose. And then set your left heel nice and close to your pelvic floor. Step onto the foot. Bring your fingertips down. Curl through cosmic eggs. Slide your right leg all the way up and back into a standing split. Left hand comes to left ankle. Right hand comes to left ankle before the brain says no. And then squeeze your right butt cheek. Squeeze your right inner thigh up towards the sky. Release the fingertips. Step back through lunge. And drop your back knee down onto the earth. The right fingertips come off your mat over to the right. Heel toe your left foot wider. You could stay here and see that even without grabbing a hold, you have all that space across your chest. Maybe cupping the C shape of your hand around the roots of your toes. And drawing your heel towards your butt cheek, burying deep into the belly of the quadriceps. Release your foot, bring your fingertips back to the earth, and then slide your way into Ardha Hanumanasana half split. Take a breath to grow the spine as lengthy as possible, and as you exhale, bow your way forwards. See if you can find the state of non-efforting in any direction. Even as you find your depth, it's a releasing not just on the physical level, which is just the tip of the iceberg, but actually most of our effort happens beneath the surface, in our thought patterns, in the different effort we apply to formulate or concoct something inside. Some kind of desired sensation, desired outcome, let that go and soften into exactly what is on offer right now. Notice if there's any preference, like a pulling some aspect of our experience towards us or pushing some other part away. Take a breath, bring your fingertips back onto the earth, tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, press and round. Slide the left leg all the way up and back through three-legged downward facing dog, then bend the knee and open the hip. Slide high onto the ball of your right heel over to the right. Parsvavashisthasana. I like to bend and gather that yin sensation before finding the dynamic, ecstatic arc through the whole body on the exhale. Bring the left hand all the way back to collide with the earth. Take a breath. Bend your knees, bend your elbows, glide back, downward facing. Inhale to ripple forward through plank. Bend the knees, hover them off the earth. Let the knees drop down at exactly the same time. Front body opens but drags you back. Round forward, untuck toes. Find your way into cobra or upward facing dog. Open across the whole vault of the heart. And then slide back into child's pose. Bring your hands to prayer and bring your third eye center onto the back of your thumbs. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and then allow everything to ripen into the earth, your skin softening into the skin of the earth. Slide your fingertips back down, curl yourself up. Just come onto your butt, extending your feet out in front of you. Extend your right leg out long. Bend your left knee and take the sole of the left foot to the inseam of your right thigh. Let your left fingertips lift alongside your left ear and then extend across your body, finding a revolution through your spine, grabbing a hold of the outer edge of your shin or your foot if you have the space. Every inhale, grow longer, lengthen your spine out of the crest of your pelvis, and every exhale, rinse and revolve. Take one more deep breath in, and as you exhale, rise back out, taking left fingertips behind you, rolling onto your left shin. I like to sneak my right foot in and lift onto the ball of the foot, just stretching across the whole front canvas of the body. Coming onto the other side, lengthen your left leg out and take the right sole to the inseam of your left. Extend your right fingertips alongside your right ear and then reach for the outer edge of your calf or your foot. Use your left fingertips like a pillar or an anchor point, and then every inhale you can grow the spine out of the crest of your pelvis. Every exhale, it's like you're softening into millimeter by millimeter by millimeter of space. Back out, slow right shin digs down into the earth. Maybe the left toes sneak a little closer, and then feel that ecstatic yawning across the whole front body. Sit the butt down, bring the soles of your feet onto the earth, and take your hands to the fronts of your shins. One last time, inhale, open the whole front line. Exhale, roll yourself onto your back. Pull your knees into your chest. Hook your right thigh over your left and find a supine twist, letting the legs come to the left and your right wing extend over to the right. And shifting over to the other side. Shifting the hips and letting your left shoulder blades stay connected even if your knees are lifted off the earth. Unravel the legs back through center and find a happy baby. Allow the sacrum to stay connected to the earth to maintain the natural curves of your spine. Find your way into a tiny cosmic egg one last time. Take a breath in and then unravel your way completely into Shavasana. Allowing yourself to receive the full effect, the full afterglow of all of your effort. We spend so much of our time pushing and forcing and figuring out, and most of this actually happens in dimensions and directions that occur beneath our conscious experience. And because we're not even aware of it, we get frustrated because it feels like we're constantly working and doing non-stop, but so much of the time nothing is actually getting done. consider maybe we try for things or push for things on a really consistent basis from a very physical or logical position, working so hard and it's not coming. We might spend a whole day trying to figure out a certain problem or ruminating about a situation or writing and rewriting the same lines over and over, trying to make a body of work come to life. And later, when we're daydreaming, the problem almost seems to solve itself. It can float into our awareness like a kite, and sometimes we just catch the tail of its inspiration and gently, gently reel it in. And so often we're doing things from such an effortful place, we forget that the other half of the experience of realizing our desires and our urges and our dreams and all the things that we're working towards is actually the non-doing. So often we're simply trying too hard. starting to drift back towards the surface, allowing your breath to deepen. And then bring some movement back into your fingers and back into your toes. Slide your knees up towards your chest and roll yourself onto your right side waist, draping down into the earth one last time. Feeling like there's nowhere to be and nothing to do, even for these final moments. Stay really close to what you feel as you find your way all the way back up. Bring your palms to connect to your third eye center. Take a deep breath of gratitude in. Namaste.